Good morning, family. This is Tevin with Tevin Talks, and I think it's time for a little mental check Monday. How was the holidays for everybody? I hope everybody got time to chill with family, love on each other, share some laughs and some memories of the ones we've lost, or the ones that weren't with us this holiday. And honestly, I think that's what we should talk about today. How to deal with loss, especially during the holidays. Coming from somebody who has lost a parent, holidays are never the same for me. And honestly, I don't think they will be for some time to come. And that's okay. You know, one thing about us, we try to run away from life in general at times. We're human. And don't think that for 1 second that you're Superman or Superwoman and you're able to block out those thoughts, those feelings, those overall emotions of losing somebody. I think that's tough for anybody, whether that be a young child or a grown adult, an older adult. That's not something that people are really ever ready for. Nobody can be ready for death. You know, some people say they mentally are, but your loved ones, your family, the ones that might have looked after you, the ones that grew up with you, they're going to be affected in ways that they can never imagine. They're going to go through some things that they've never dealt with. And if you're like me, you might not know how to mentally navigate around that. Or some people like to say, navigate through it. For me personally, when my mom died, I was in a very, very rough spot. And when I tell you the things that went on in my head at that time would probably make a normal person go crazy, I can guarantee that. You see, my mom was a shining light for many people, not just me and my brother or my grandmother or my uncle, a lot of people. That was family, friends, people that she worked with. Even if you had a 5-minute conversation with her, you knew that she was special. My mom was somebody that cared for everybody she met. She wanted everybody to be okay, regardless of the situation. She had that love for you. If you were somebody that were friends with me and my brother, you were family now. If you were a family friend, you came with another cousin to a cookout or whatever gathering that was, you were family then. As long as you didn't disrespect her, as long as you didn't talk crazy to nobody, everything was cool. And she remained that way up until her last days. And I know I talk about myself a lot when I'm talking about the loss of her and how I felt, but when it really comes down to it, I really have to highlight my grandmother for that, because nobody, and I mean no one, should ever have to bury their kids. Going through life and becoming parents, we do know that one day our kids will bury us when that time comes. We don't know when that time is, but it's going to happen. It's nothing we can stop. When God's ready to call you home, you're on your way. There's nothing you can do about it. And your kids have to deal with that grief. But I mentally cannot understand what my grandmother may be going through. Most time if you see her, she's laughing, she's happy. But I can guarantee you when my grandmother may lay down at night and she gets to thinking, I know it hurts her because it hurts me. Like I said before, every single day I'm looking at the sky and I could be sad, I could be a little irritated, I could be happy. But regardless, even if a tear falls, I'm looking up at the sky and I'm telling her thank you for every single sacrifice that she laid out for me, every single night that she stayed up with me when I needed her. Whenever I needed her to be there for me, she was there. And I think anyone that she came across, anybody's life that she touched, they knew that. They knew that they can count on Juanita. She was that person for anybody. I've seen this woman take care of so many people in my life when she didn't have to. But she always lended a hand to anybody in need. And I can tell you right now, as a grown man, that most of those times when she had that hand to give out to people, we didn't have it. She probably couldn't spare it, but she found a way to help you. And I think that definitely molded me into the person I am today, because there's a lot of times I can't tell people no, because I want people to be okay in general. I have a heart, and it's because of her. And I'm thankful for that, because a lot of people don't get that kind of love. A lot of people won't be able to tell you that they had somebody like my mom to have their back 100%. Have somebody, no matter what, wouldn't judge you, and that will let you know that you always have somebody that's thinking about you and that would do anything for you in this lifetime. And I know for a lot of us, when it comes to holidays, it can never be easy. And honestly, for most, that's going to be the one thing we'll never be able to get through. But don't think you're alone. This podcast was made just for stuff like this, because I'm going through it with you. I'm not perfect. I'm not somebody that's going to sit here and tell you that you will never get over it. I'm not somebody to sit here and tell you that it's going to be okay, because guess what? It actually might not be for quite some time. But I can promise you that you will be able to understand and be able to hold on to the happy memories instead of that memory of you losing that person. For me personally, the beginning stages of losing my mother was very, very critical, because my mom passed in 2017. And in March of 2017, she was told that she would have 4 years to live. She passed October 23rd of that same year. Cancer is very tricky. Cancer is something that can turn you into a brittle, lifeless human being. And to watch somebody decline like that is a different story. People deal with many things. Death comes in very, very different packages. But for me personally, to see somebody go through stage 4 cancer the way that she went through it, it's not something I wish on my worst enemy. It's something that will turn you into a person that you've never, ever believed you can become. For me, I went through many different emotions, anger, sadness. There was not a lot of happy days at that time. I blamed the doctors. I blamed people, because I didn't understand why my mom was leaving me as early as she did and the way that she did. Because anybody that knows, when you have cancer, you are going to suffer. That's one thing that people are going to have to deal with. It sucks to hear it. I know it sucks to see it, but that's one thing that's going to happen. But when you come across anybody that has dealt with cancer, they will tell you that chemo and radiation are two things that are not meant for human beings. Let's be honest. We know that it's supposed to be something that helps them, but to see what it does to the body, what it does to the mind, it can be a very stressful thing. And my mom had to deal with this on 2 different occasions. And that last time, she straight up told me, if I got to go through this chemo thing again, I just don't know if I can do it. And the selfishness in me wanted her to just do it, because, hey, you need this. We need you here. I want you to do this. And we sat down and had a real conversation with that doctor. And he told us that, her actually doing those will actually speed up the process. After being told that somebody already was given 4 years, to say that it's going to speed up the process and for her to pass away months down the line, you can only imagine where my mind was. When I say I was angry, that was an understatement. I did not understand why. To be honest, I felt like I probably wanted to cause harm to the doctor. I know that sounds bad, but I did not understand. And that was wrong for me to think that. And if you are listening, again, I apologize. I'm just letting you know that my mother is everything to me. That superwoman, and I never thought that she would be able to be taken down the way she was. I knew that one day I would have to bury my mom, but at an early age as I did, and the way that it went down, I was hurt. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't even think I will be able to explain this the way I am right now last year. It took me a very long time to get to this mindset. It took me a very long time not to say that I'm okay with her passing, but to say I understand. There's a difference. I'll never be okay with this to the day that I pass on, because I miss her. I miss talking to her. I miss being around her. The laughs that we shared, the love that we shared, the times. My mom was a big ball of fun. Anybody that knows her, she played lots of sports. She loved to play games. She loved to laugh. She just loved to see everybody happy. And, just to not be able to see that and hear her laughter during the holidays, it sucks. But this isn't just about me. This is about all of us, because we're a family. And I know that you're dealing with some grief that you don't like to talk about. I know that you're dealing with the passing of a loved one that is so hard to get through. And I just want you to know that I love you. I want you to know that you can't sit here and just dwell on these times and think that because your loved one passed on that you will never, ever be okay. I'm not telling you that you're not going to hurt. I'm not telling you that you're not going to cry. I'm not telling you that every single day will be sunshine and rainbows. You're going to have those days when it's going to rain. But let the people that are around you be the umbrella. Let the people that surround you love on you, because they're going to know when you're affected. You got so many people out here, I'm sure, that love on you and that tell you that they're there for you. Let them. And if you don't, that's what we're here for. We're here to tell you that we got your back. We're here to tell you that it's okay to not be okay. We're here to tell you that if you ever need a shoulder to lean on this episode. I know for me right now, as I'm fighting tears, even being able to explain this and trying to help you, that is therapy for me. And I hope that this is clarity and therapy for you. Don't ever think for 1 second that life is just going to go 100% happy and everything's going to be, again, sunshine and rainbows. There's going to be very dark days. There's going to be situations that you actually do not know how to navigate through. Just know there is somebody for everybody. And if you know right now, there's an episode on this podcast for almost every situation. Whether that be grief, if you need some laughter, you need some motivation, if you just need to just listen to somebody that's trying to overcome the same things that you're going through right now. Let us be those people. We're going to have more grief episodes coming up, because I can guarantee you right now I'm nowhere near finished. But I just wanted to give you something for the holidays to listen to and to know that we love you. Everything will be okay. I hope that you truly believe that. I hope that you and your family were able to sit down and have good times and enjoy some great food. Now, me personally, I ain't eating everybody's Thanksgiving food, but I know my grandma went in. My mother-in-law with her family, we had a great time. And I hope you did too. And if you didn't, I hope that I can help today and make sure that Christmas is a joyous time for you. And that about wraps it up for today. This has been Mental Check Monday with Tevin. I love you. You are my family. I'm out.